Hello everyone, it is that time again. Quarterly, quarterly review. It's June now, so it's time for my quarterly review and 6-month basically reflection and kind of just a life update all in one video. If you're new here, this is my second quarterly review video. I posted the first one back in March. I planned to post quarterly videos the whole year just to kind of keep track of my progress in my art journey and general life goals. So if you have not seen the first one, you can just click, is it up here? Yeah. Now I did such a good job in my last quarter, basically meeting majority of my goals and keeping up with my tasks. And I know for a fact that this quarter is the complete opposite. I don't even want to make this quarter review video, but I promised myself that I would make it. But I know it will just be filled with disappointment. Okay, I really pulled like a Dua Lipa and just did a 180. I'm gonna share my screen with you. If we look at my goals for this quarter, I met about a couple of the goals and maybe one task. Actually, at the beginning of this quarter, I was doing okay, and I did a market in Toronto. I did some drawings of my friends. I even posted that video on time. I created reels, and then I created IG posts here and there. However, I did disappear for like 2 months. From May to June, I have not been active on my Instagram and or my YouTube. So what happened? Did I actually burn out even though I was planning this whole thing so that I could avoid burnout? The answer is no, I did not burn out. That's not the reason why I disappeared. There was just a lot of stuff happening in my personal life, and it was my mistake not to take into account some of the major things that were gonna happen in my life, basically. Let's look at each month and as to what I did and what did I do right, what did I do wrong. So in March, I was actually preparing for a small market at TMU. TMU is what formerly Ryerson University, now Toronto Metropolitan University, but the market itself was free, and I was preparing majority of that throughout March because it was kind of like near the end of March. And this market, I was kind of nervous for it because when a market is free, well, you don't really know how it's going to turn out, but it was so nice and it was really fun actually. It was organized by a bunch of students who are in charge of the Filipino Student Association. They were asking small businesses and vendors that are Filipino based to take part in their market. They reached out to me via my Instagram and I couldn't resist and I just kind of went for it. It was a very cute market right in the middle of their student center almost. So there was a lot of foot traffic of students and I met a lot of like nice people there. They were all just so kind and sweet, super funny, super young and lively. They made me miss like being in university. And they were honestly a kind reminder that I am a full-grown adult and that I'm no longer young, because these guys, like, I have a career of my own, but these guys are just kind of starting out in their life, and it was just super refreshing to talk to them and be in their presence, you know. It was just really, really cute. Compared to the last market I did last quarter, this was just a nice way to ease myself back in. The previous market that I did was not that great, and I don't want to speak about it in this video, but I'll definitely make some pros and cons of when you're trying to choose a market. Next up, in April, I was editing and working on some videos to post on YouTube, on shorts and reels. So beginning the first and second week of April, that's basically what I was doing. I was right on schedule actually. I was still sticking to the plan of posting bi-weekly, and it was working out pretty good. For Reels, I would always usually post once a week. I was sharing a lot of me drawing my friends, which was super fun. Thank you, friends, for letting me draw you. I was reusing those Reels and putting them into my YouTube Shorts and posting twice daily on YouTube Shorts because I was getting a lot more traction there. And then after those 2 weeks, I disappeared. I disappeared. But where did I go? The 2 months I disappeared, I didn't want to share this like on my art channel because I feel like it's pretty personal, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail. I don't want to share too much of my personal life. But basically, I was preparing for my wedding. Yeah, so your girl is married. I was actually getting married at the end of April. So getting married at the end of April, and I was still doing my part-time job, working on my art, and then planning my wedding. I was the idiot who thought, yeah, I could do all three, no problem. And I think I was doing fine. But as the date got closer, there was just too many things that were piling up that I kept almost putting off because I was so focused on mostly my art, really, because my part-time, I don't take my part-time job at the hospital. I do not take that home. But my art stuff, I'm constantly, it's always in my mind and I always want to work on it, that the wedding stuff was getting pushed away. So that's why all of like mid-April to the end of April, it was just me preparing for my wedding. I was pretty stressed out at that point. One, because I was getting married and it's honestly a lot of work. When you decide to get married, you will realize. I will not even explain that. Also, I was getting stressed because I obviously was not keeping track. I was not being on top of my quarterly tasks and goals, so I wasn't meeting them, and honestly, it obviously did not make me feel good. So I knew I just had to stop my art stuff for a bit, and then come May, I also went on a honeymoon right away. So yeah, I'll show you little bits of pictures. Mid-April to end of April, planning for the wedding, get married, I leave right away, I go on my honeymoon. I've been gone for a month now, haven't touched my art, haven't touched any of my social medias. Not because I'm burnt out, but just because life was calling. The sun came out and I was being really present in the moment of being with my partner, being with my friends, being with my family. It's really nice and refreshing, and it does definitely make me want to work harder on my art, but it also made me appreciate to take a step back every now and then and just be present with the people who are important to you. It was really nice. I'm not even feeling guilty. I think maybe people are probably expecting that this 6-month update is going to be me like complaining that I didn't do anything and that I'm sad and that I'm burnt out or something, but I'm not. Actually, I've never been happier. I am so much more appreciative of everyone around me. It's like after getting married, I was like living like a dream. Maybe I'm still on that wedding high and being a wife life. And a lot of things too is like once the warmer or sunny weather comes, I do tend to be outside more. So obviously less art stuff because majority of my things is digital art. So I'm not as inclined to stay inside. As the warmer months came as well, I was outside more. I was tending to my garden, planting some herbs, planting some flowers, taking care of my rose bushes. You know, you have to deadhead those things. I'm not gonna get into it. So yeah, that's where I've been. I'm working a lot as well, picking up a lot of shifts because a wedding costs a lot of money. So I had to go ahead and pick up a bunch of shifts just to make up for some of our bills. Although I haven't been active online, I've still been creating offline. I've been creating as in just like doodling. Anytime I'm at a cafe or I'm just outside, I'll be like sketching and doodling. It's been mostly just sketching for fun, drawing for fun, offline. I'll definitely share some of those videos as I slowly ease my way back into being more active online. When I'm showing you my Notion page right now, I can see that I didn't meet majority of goals, and that's okay. I'm not mad at myself, and I forgive myself for not sticking to it. Sometimes this is just how life works. You have a plan and and things fall through and you just go with the flow. I did not take into account some of the things in my personal life, and that affected my schedule with my art. So majority of these goals and tasks I'm gonna be moving into my next quarter so that I can work on them heavily. And like I said, I'm not upset at myself that I haven't met this quarter's goals, just because I'm feeling even more motivated. I think being able to spend quality time and being present and being offline is just refreshing on its own. I think for me, art itself is a privilege. I mean, I have already a nursing career that provides me with the financial help that I need. Art for me is not constrained. It's not like I have to create something and because I need to pay my bills, you know? So for me, I definitely acknowledge that artist me is privileged to not have to worry about these things. So for me, I know that it will always be there for me. I can always go back to it without feeling guilt, because I think a lot of artists can relate when they kind of feel guilty when they're not creating. You know, you don't have to create content all the time. You can create art and you can be privately doing it and still it's okay. Or if you're not even privately creating it and you're just taking a break, it's okay too. You're still an artist and you will create when the time comes. But with that being said, I guess it almost sounds like I'm not pursuing art seriously, but I would say that I am, because I have all these plans on my Notion page and I see where I want to take it and what I want to do with it. So I am pursuing it seriously, but I am not doing it in a way where I'm killing myself over it, because I do, again, I have that privilege that I already have financial stability, that I don't want to be ruining art for myself, you know? Like, I'm not trying to kill myself by creating things non-stop just to create it. I want to do it because it's a feeling and it's something I want. I don't want to make it a chore. I don't want to taint it too much, you know? I don't want to exhaust myself. I am being very gentle with the artist me, and you're allowed to be as well. I don't know if you need to hear that, but if you did, I'm here to tell you, you're allowed to be gentle with yourself as an artist. As long as you keep going and you still have your goals and, you know, you keep aiming for that road, then you're gonna get there. And now for a quick 6-month reflection, because I don't want to talk too much, because there's really not much I can say about this quarter and the last 3 months with my art, because not a whole lot has been happening. As a reflection, I have to remind myself that now I have 6 months left before the year ends. I still want to continue working on my Plantita series. I think it just has so much potential. Just the term itself, I would love to coin it and make a lot more merchandise related to Plantita. And I'm pretty passionate about Plantita, so I really want to make sure that I can get it somewhere. I obviously still want to continue creating art both digitally and traditionally, and I think the whole AR thing with the art world has initially it discouraged me, because I'm like, what's the point of making if this AI can just steal your stuff or can create something in like less than 30 seconds while you work on it for days. Actually, it used to be discouraging, but now I'm like, it's fine. There's no way it can fully replace all artists, because art itself is a lived experience, so it's fine. I'm excited because there's gonna be more sunshine, so I can film lots of nice videos in the sun, and I would love to paint outside and film that. I'd love to share that. Anyway, that's all I have for this video. If you actually watched it, great, but otherwise there's really not much in this video. It's mostly for me to update and show you guys what I did in this quarter. I did stuff, just not all the stuff, you know? If you watched this to the very end, thank you so much. I know time is precious and you gave me some of yours, so I'm very thankful. Thank you. I'll see you next time with more videos, promise. Bye-bye.
プロボーイ